remember where you were in mid-March 2020. So we were on our way home from Singapore, actually from India. I said to my husband, we just need to get to Singapore so we can have a conversation with a real person at Qantas and say, can we please go home early? We came home and we sat in the backyard, fueled by coffee from friends dropping it in while we had our isolation at home. And I asked myself the question, how do I best serve the world? You know, in times of stress, we go to, what do I need to do to fix this? And I mean, how many questions do we have going on at that time? And I just knew that I would find peace in asking myself, how do I best serve the world? Not what my mentors are saying I should do, not what the industry is saying about pivoting, but just how do I best serve the world? And there was a book that was brewing. I didn't know exactly what it would be, but I knew it would be the sequel to my third and fourth book, which is Do Talk to Strangers, How to Connect with Anyone Anywhere, and the Travel Toolkit, because some people think this is too big, too big to read. So I really want to encourage people to connect. So I start putting some feelers out, talking to some friends, on Zoom, of course. Would you like to share some of your stories? When we think about it, we know a lot of great connectors, and we all have stories about moments of connection. Maybe you've connected with a stranger and they've decreased your anxiety. But one of the stories that I shared in the book was about a German train station that was completely overwhelming. It just went on forever, and I had to be on the train at 9:58. And I was told that the information desk opens at 10 a.m. What do? You talk to a stranger, and they help you get there, and you go, thank you so much. You don't know what that means to me. Have you had those moments? And the stranger goes, and they don't know what your thank you means. And maybe it's the other way around. And you've helped somebody, and you've said, oh, no worries, it's fine. And you don't realise. You make a bigger difference than you know. I actually did a final check of the book before we went to print, because I thought, did I say that too many times? I feel like I'm banging on about how you make a bigger difference than you know, because I want you to not stop making a difference, not stop being kind. Sometimes people tell me, oh, I was kind to a stranger once and they just bit my head off. And so I don't talk to strangers anymore. I just want to say, please do talk to strangers. Do extend your kindness. Do hold that hand, or just look into somebody's eyes and express kindness. I had a beautiful conversation with Anne-Marie about that. Sometimes we don't even have a shared language, but people can read your kindness, your compassion, your empathy. I just want to tell you quickly about one of the contributors to this beautiful book. His name's Connor O'Malley. And I met him on LinkedIn. Did anyone get a lot of new friends on LinkedIn in the last few years? Yes. I saw that Connor was asking for coaches to give time to people in hotel quarantine. I said, oh my gosh, yes, I'm there. Connor lived here in Melbourne, and I signed up for his Coach Aid program and spent a lot of time talking to people in very, very difficult situations. I told Connor a few months later, I'm working on this book. I would love your stories. He shared some beautiful stories in this book. And Connor would be here today with bells on, but he passed away just before Christmas. And when Hassan invited me to come and share this book here, I felt this book deserves this opportunity. Connor's words, and each person in this book, their story deserves to be shared. Because I want to remind everybody here, and the ripple effects that we create from this event, that you make a bigger difference than you know. And maybe you feel a little timid, and I understand timidity, feeling intimidated, inadequate. People will see me on a stage and think, oh yeah, Kerry's just confident. No. I overcome inadequacy and intimidation by focusing on others, by asking a question of myself like, how do I best serve? Who might need to feel welcome here? How can I include people? And so I just want to remind people that it matters. Your kindness matters. I'd just like to read you a little piece of this book that brought me undone a couple of weeks ago when I read it. And I had an amazing conversation last night with Elsa. You know, we have had so much grief in the past few years. There's illness, there's loss, there's lots of opportunities, there's lots of people, there's a lot of grief, and there's a lot of kindness. And there's a lot of division. We just have to go on any social media and we see that. You just have to walk down the street and you see the division. But there's so much kindness and so much passion and unity and working together. So I wrote, every day people are talked down from the ledge. Every day people are lifted by words, love and encouragement, by the smiles of people like you. These moments can be the reason people stay when all they want to do is leave. The reason they go on when all they want to do is quit. Thank you for being someone's good news story.